that they are not going to make noise for us. So if you hear there, my name, as I said, is Afikile Sikwebu. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I teach at Linkside High School. I teach digital technologies to grade 8. I also teach CAT, or computer applications technology, to grade 10s, 11, and 12. Now, this is our second session on using Misora to code, and I trust that you guys will enjoy our session very much. Our theme for today is on digital storytelling. We are going to tell stories, or we are going to code stories using our Misora platform. So just as a reminder, you are encouraged to enter the Afronovate competition, and the registrations unfortunately have closed now. For those of you guys who have registered before, please, you are requested, or we encourage you guys to start doing your projects. It can be a game, it can be a story, it can be a quiz. Any idea that you have in mind of what you would like to do, we encourage you to do that. And those projects will be showcased. Well, you can start submitting those projects on the 30th, which is the Friday, all the way up until the 3rd of May. So please start submitting those projects, and closer to the time, we will give you guys a link where you can then upload your projects. The first prize or the winning team will each get a laptop, and they will also get microbits. Now, microbits are very, very nice devices that you can plug onto your computer and you can code them. And then the second place, you will get an Arduino and a Raspberry Pi, which also you can use to, with a Raspberry Pi, you can use it as a computer. An Arduino, you can use it to program. You can program some lights. You can even program cars. I've got cars at home, toy cars, which I'm running off Arduinos. Then the third prize, you get a Raspberry Pi, the latest Raspberry Pi. So I want to encourage you guys to think of projects and submit your projects when the link has been shared with you guys, and stand a chance to win some awesome prizes for yourself and for you and your friends if you are entering as friends. For some of you guys who have not seen some of our videos, you can catch us on YouTube at www.youtube.com/the and then /Africa Teen Geeks. That is African Teen Geeks channel. That is where you can find some of our old videos from the past. And then as we recap now, yesterday we looked at how, or rather we looked at what coding is. We got a very brief understanding of what coding is, as we said that coding is telling a computer what to do. We use a computer language that a computer can understand, and we instruct it and tell it what to do. That is what coding, as we said yesterday. And then we also looked at algorithms, which we said is a way of giving computers instructions, step-by-step instructions on how to solve a problem. And then we also registered and logged into Misora, and I hope that you have logged in already. And we also created then a very, very basic algorithm. And that is what we did yesterday. And then finally, as we look at what we are going to do today, we are going to look at how two sprites can have a conversation. So let's say you have two sprites and you want them to talk to each other. We want to see how is it that these sprites, can we make these sprites talk to each other? How will one know when the other has finished talking? We will also look at how to make decisions in Misora. And then we may, if we have some time, look at how to use variables to store information. All right, so that is what we are going to do today. And without using more time, let me stop sharing now, and then I will open Ms. Zora, and we can start with our session. Okay, so let me get here. Let me share the screen. All right. So yesterday we logged into Ms. Zora, and I hope all of you guys have usernames now. I hope all of you guys can log in. If there's someone who still can't log in, I'm going to show you. Let's see how we log in. If you don't have an account yet on Ms. Zora, you can sign up here and follow the instructions by completing all that information. When it asks for your email, ask your parents if you can use their email, then you can use that to register. For us who have already an account, I want you then to click on login, and you are going to use the username that you chose yesterday and the password also that you chose yesterday. You will then be brought to your dashboard. All right. So it will bring you to your dashboard whereby you can click on Ms. Zora blocks or Ms. Zora blocks. All right. Now, when you are on Ms. Zora, you will have all the projects that you have done, which I'm going to show you how to save. So it'll show you the projects that you have done, and you also can start a new project. All right. So we are going to, for instance, use or go to the project that we did yesterday. But you will see that I didn't save anything in that project because, well, I don't think I remember saving it. So it was called The Beginning, if you remember well. And I last saved it 9 hours ago. And you can either delete it if you don't want it, or you can view. All right. So it will then bring you to that project, and you will see that I saved it when I started the project, and I didn't save it again at the end. Hence, it brings me to the beginning screen. All right. So whenever you want then to save, you can save to the cloud, and it will save it to where you saw me opening it now. And then otherwise, if you want to, and you want to use it later on your computer offline, you can then click download. It will then download and go to your downloads folder, and you can use it from there offline if you have a program to open it. All right. So yesterday, as we saw, we saw how we select sprites. We said that all the characters that we use on Ms. Zora are called sprites, and we get all our sprites on here where it says choose a sprite, and we also get then all our backgrounds on where it says choose a backdrop. All right. So there's some people who are asking questions. I just want to check. I just want to open my chat and put it on the side so that I know if there are questions. All right. So I'm going to then remove the sprite because we want to continue with the project that we had yesterday. and we had a talking bear. All right. Now, what I'm going to ask you guys is to play along with me. I have my imagination is quite an old imagination. The way that I imagine things is not the way that you perhaps imagine things these days. So I am going to depend on you guys to help me to play around with your imaginations. So we are going to have a storyline, and I don't want our storyline to be a boring storyline. So you will tell me what to do, or you will tell our sprite, you will tell me what you would like our sprites to say or do. All right. So we also want to add a backdrop while you are thinking of a storyline. And let's put them at the park. Yeah, let's put them at the park. Okay. So they are having a conversation at the park. Let's make this one a child. Let's make this, no, too small. All right, so we now have two sprites, and I hope that you also have these two sprites. So you are going to select the sprite called girl by coming to choose a sprite, and you are going to select Avery. Now, if let's say we wanted Avery to be on the right or on the left side of the girl, which yesterday we had said we can change the name, and we will make the name Abigail. Okay. Now, let's say we want her to be on the left side of Abigail. But you see now, she has her back against Abigail. I said to you guys yesterday that if we wanted to change how our sprite, the orientation of or the direction of our sprite, we can come and change the direction. But if we change it, it's going to make her upside down. So we don't want to use this one. What we'll do, we will select Avery, this sprite, and we will go to costumes. You will see that all her costumes are facing to the right. And what we'll do is then to flip her horizontally. And you will see then she will turn and face to my left, but to her right. So even this one, we will flip her horizontally. All right, so we have done that. I hope you have done that as well. So we have two sprites. We have renamed the sprite. We have renamed one sprite, and we have another one we called Avery. All right, so here begins our story. And I'm going to ask you guys for some ideas. What do you guys want the story to be about? You know, anyone would like to just say something to tell us what our story should be about? If you can raise your hand, quickly raise your hand and quickly just tell me what you would like the story to be about, or what the first character should say. Yes, Daniel.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Daniel.
So I think every should say that to her child that she wants sweets.
Okay, so okay, all right. That's cool. All right. All right. Second one, and then we move on.
So it can be about Earth Day, maybe.
About Earth Day. Okay. All right, that's fine. All right.
About litter.
Sorry?
About litter in the oceans or something.
Okay, that's fine. We'll have a conversation about that then. All right, cool. So we have two ideas. One says, do you want sweets? And then, of course, the child is going to want sweets, and then we will have the child throwing away the sweet wrapper, and the mother is going to be telling the child to be educating the child about Earth Day. All right, so we want then the mother to is that we need to get some to have our sprites speaking, because they are going to be standing in one place. So we want a code that is going to get our sprites to start speaking. All right, hello for 2 seconds, or we can say hello. You can also, so if we look at the difference between each of them, if I click on say hello for 2 seconds, the child says hello for 2 seconds, and then the hello disappears. If I click say hello, she continuously says hello, and the speech bubble does not disappear. Okay, and then if I say she must think something, if I say she must think something, you can see that she has a thought bubble. This one has a speech bubble, which means she's talking. This one has a thought bubble, which means she's thinking. So I think then we should go with the speech bubble. All right, so we are going to start with Avery. And so Daniel said we must ask whether she wants a sweet. Hello, Abigail or Abby, would you like a sweet? All right, so now Avery has said something. Yes, would you like a sweet? And we want the Abigail to then respond and says, yes, mommy, I would like to have a sweet. So we will then come to her and say, yes, mommy. No, yes, mommy, I would love to have a sweet. All right, do we all have that? So now she's going to say this for 5 seconds. But now you will see that if you will remember yesterday, we had a head block that starts our program. Now someone says that I'm glitching. I'm sorry about that. Maybe it's my internet. I'm not sure. If I'm still glitching, please in the chat just tell me how bad the glitch is, so that I can try to sort that out again. So yes, mommy, I would love to have a sweet. You will remember yesterday we spoke about a head block, these types of blocks, which become for us a way of starting a program or our project. So we have this when flag is clicked. And if we put this when flag is clicked on, we join it to this code, and we also join it to Abigail's code. When I click the flag, they both speak at the same time. And that is going to be chaotic if they speak at the same time. So we rather want one to speak, and then while one is speaking, the other one is just listening to the conversation. Let me just close a few things to try and sort out this glitch. Let me hope that it's going to okay. All right, so if I press, you will see that it shows the speech bubbles of both sprites. And I don't want that. I actually just want one sprite to speak at a time. So how then do we sort that out is what we are going to do. So what we'll do is that we are going to remove this. Sorry, let me just remove some windows from my screen. We are going to remove the head block from Abigail because we want her to speak after she's being spoken to. And we are only going to leave it on for Avery. So Avery now has a speech, has a head block. So what we do is that, hello, Abby, would you like a sweet? And when she is done talking, we want to send that message across by using another code that is broadcast. So we are going to broadcast this as message 1. So we are going to broadcast message 1. All right. So you'll see, hello, Abby, would you like a sweet? And Abigail doesn't respond. We then come to Abigail and we get to Abigail and we are going to put a code that says, when I receive message 1, when I receive message 1, all right, can you give me 30 seconds? Everybody says I'm glitching. If you can just give me 30 seconds, I just want to move to a different spot in the house. If you give me 30 seconds, please. I'm sorry about that. Let me move to a different spot in the house. You can unmute yourself so long and ask a question if you have one. Just want to said that Avery will then start the conversation. And when she starts the conversation, we start that by clicking the flag, and we don't want the flag to be on both of them. We only want the flag to be on one because we don't want them to start talking at the same time. So we had pressed the flag and only Avery speaks for 5 seconds. And we then said that after she has spoken for that 5 seconds, she broadcasts the message as message 1. So which means she sends the message to Abigail and that message become message 1. All right. So that becomes message 1. And when we've sent that message, we want a way for Abigail to get that message. And so what we will do, and we want Abigail, first of all, to get that message. And secondly, we want her to only respond when she has received the message. So what we'll do is that we will get a block that says, if I can get this block, sorry, I was running. There's a block that says, when I receive message 1. So now, instead of using this when flag clicked, we are going to use when I receive message 1, then she must say, yes, mommy, I would love to have a sweet. All right. So that is what is going to happen. And you will see now, if I press the flag, hello, Abigail, would you like a sweet? Yes, mommy, I would like to have a sweet. All right, that is that. And then it's her turn. I saw the hands that are up. I'm going to take them shortly. So it's now her turn to speak. So she will then, it's her mother's turn to speak. So she must send her own message so that her mother will know that she is finished speaking. So she will then broadcast this, her own message. So now she is taking this message, or rather Miss Sora is taking this message, and it is telling this sprite, Avery, that sprite number 1, Abigail, is done talking. So, but we will broadcast now. Instead of broadcasting as message 1, we are going to broadcast it as message 2. So we are going to record our message. We can either say message 2 or response 1, however you want, but use messages that you are not going to get lost. So I'm going to leave it at message 2, because I know that 2 comes after 1, 3 comes after 2, 4 comes after 3. So I will not get lost that way. All right, so now that she has sent her own message, now Avery knows it is her turn now to speak. So we can go back to Avery, and Avery can now record her own message. So just to make sure that nobody is lost, I'm going to just quickly check your hands. If I can get to your hands and answer a few questions. I'm still breaking up. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, Salma, do you have a question?
So, my Sora isn't working. It says I must download Scratch Junior to make it work.
We're not using Scratch Junior. Now at the end of the session, please just remind me to help you so that we can get everybody whose Miss Sora is not working at the end of the session. Around about after I've done the announcements, please just remind me to help you guys to get your Miss Soras working. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So we'll post this video on YouTube. You can catch it on there and just do what we've been doing so far. Thank you. Any other question? All right. I take it that everybody is clear so far. All right. So now that, let me just close this. Now that she's recorded her message, we want to send another message over to the child. And so the message is going to say now, it's going to say that she must, do you remember it's Earth Day today? Please don't throw your plastic wrap in the bin. Okay, Abigail, it is, do you know it is Earth Day today, a day dedicated, or a day set out to remind us to keep our Earth clean. All right, question mark. All right, so now she has sent her own message and we are going to use that for 5 seconds. She's now said her own message and we want to send the message across, and we want Abigail to know that it is now her turn to speak. All right, so what we'll do is that we will then use another broadcast. So we are going to now say broadcast message 3. Is it message 3 or message 4? So it is message 3 now. So we are going to broadcast message 3. And I'm sure you can see how long this broadcast can get and how easy it would be to get confused on where you are with regards to the broadcast. So what I usually do is that the first sprite to speak will have odd numbers. So this one will have 1, if you have 2 sprites, we'll certainly have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then this one will have even numbers. It will start at 2, it will start broadcasting from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you will know where you've made a mistake. It's difficult to check your mistakes when you have used your own messages, but you can use your own messages. You just need to keep track of where you are in your messages. All right, so we then need to, let's just broadcast 2 more, and then we are going to move on because I'm sure you will have understood what we are doing. Let's say now that she has received message 3, so she's received message 3, then she must send her own. So she must say, wow, Mom, I did not know. Thank you for telling me. She's a very polite child, I see. This will also make sure I grow up in a clean environment. Even though I don't really think a child would speak like this, but I'm going to speak like that anyway. And then we are going to broadcast, we are going to send her message across, and you will see now our pattern. We said message 2, so which is going to be message 4. You'll see now it is message 4. On this side, we see 1, 3. On this other side, we see 2, 4. All right. So now let's see what happens when we press the flag. Okay, now here's a bug. I noticed that we have a bug. When they speak for the second time, they speak at the same time. So there's a bug for us. So let's see where there's a bug. Let's see where the mistake in code. If you remember, we said a bug is a mistake in code. So I have found one right now. So it says when I click the flag, she says, hello, Abigail, for 5 seconds. And then she broadcasts the message as message 1. Okay. And then this one, when she receives message 1, she says, hello, and then broadcasts message 2. Okay. So she, okay. So when I receive message 2, let's see if we do this. Let's see if we do this. And if on this side, we do this one. So when I receive message 2, on this side, when I receive message 3, okay, let's see. Okay, now we have fixed our bug successfully. So you would have seen that a bug is just a mistake in code. It doesn't mean that your code is not going to work, or it doesn't mean that, it's a bad code. It's not bad code. It just means that there are some things that you may have overlooked or you were not careful in doing. And so bugs happen all the time. You know, they happen all the time when we are coding. So what I've done to fix my bug, I have come to my sprite number 1, Avery, and you will see I have a head block called when the flag is clicked, which starts the program. It starts the entire program. And then it will say hello, Abby, would you like a sweet, for 5 seconds, which she says it. All right. And then it broadcasts message number 1. Then I come to Abigail and I say, when I receive message number 1, which is this message, then when I receive message number 1, say, yes, mommy, I would like to have a sweet. And I send this as message number 2. Avery, when she receives message number 2, she responds and sends her message number 3. And Abigail receives message number 3 and responds to message number 4. All right. So that is how we can have this back and forth communication between two sprites. That is how two sprites will know that the one sprite has finished talking and it is the other sprite's turn to start talking. All right, that is what we can do. And then sometimes you want to ask, let's say sometimes you want to ask a question, right? And you want the question to, or you want your sprite to do something based on a correct answer or a particular answer that has been given. So we are going to now use a decision block, which is going to help us to make a decision based on an answer that has been given. All right, so what we'll then do, still on our sprites, when Avery receives message 4, when I receive message 4, now we are going to ask a question and say, what day is it? Just to make sure that Abigail understands what day it is. And now, instead of asking using these speech bubbles, we are going to use another block, in sensing, which is ask, what is your name, or what's your name? All right. But we don't want to ask, what's your name? We know her name. Her name is Abigail. So we want to ask her a question now. Abigail, I'm sure you will guess my daughter's name is Abigail. So Abigail, what day is it today? All right. Now, when we go to Abigail, Abigail must give out, or we are going to have to give an answer. All right. So let me make this quicker. Let me make this a bit quicker so that it happens quick for us. Okay, so would you like a sweet? Yes, mommy, I would like a sweet. Okay. Now, here's the question. So Abigail, what day is it? All right. And we remember that we said it's Earth Day. So let's say Earth Day. All right. And if I click on enter, nothing happens. It just goes away. So we want when I write Earth Day, she must tell me, she must say, well done, Abigail, you remembered. All right. So ask, what day is it? Oh, my internet is not playing well again. What day is it? And we are going to say, use a decision. So we are going to look at an if block. So we'll say, if, then what? So we'll use an if, then what? And this if, then what will say, if our answer, or if answer equals, then we go to operators. So if the answer is equal to, if the answer is equal to Earth Day, then she is going to say, sorry, well done, Abigail. You got it. All right. So if we once again make it quicker, and let's start. All right. So let's say Earth Day. Oh, well done, Abigail. You got it. All right. So you will see that when I receive message 4, I must then ask a question. So when I ask the question, it brings up this text bar at the bottom, and it wants me to write something there. Now, this if block, what it does is that it listens to the answer. So it reads the answer that is going to be inserted on this text block. And if the answer, which I write here, equals Earth Day, then it must say, well done, Abigail. And if it's not, she must just keep quiet. Or we could say, try again. We could say try again, or we could say we could make it do something else, depending on what you want really. So that is how we use a decision block or an if block to make decisions. We are going to use them very much as we go on with our projects. And so, ladies and gents, we've come to the end of our session for today. First of all, let me apologize for the break that we had and my internet that is not playing well. I will make sure tomorrow that none of the challenges that we had today are repeated. So today we just learned simply how to get sprites to talk to one another. One sprite says something, and the other one must know when to respond. We also looked at how to use or how to make a decision in Misora by using the if block. When if a condition is true, then you must do something. Otherwise, if a condition is not true, then you must just not do anything. We will look at other conditions, or we'll look at other if blocks, or how to use another if block called if then else, but we will use it when we make other things. So thank you for that. I'm now going to take questions if there is anyone who has questions. So I'll start with Megan.
So
Yes.
I forgot to register for the competition yesterday and wouldn't let me register today. I saw it's finished, but can you still register or?
The registration, unfortunately, Megan, they have closed. They've closed the registrations. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. Let's take Salma.
so you
Yes.
said I must invite you for the Mazoya blocks
Okay.
to fix that up because it's not
Okay.
working.
Okay. It's still not working, right? Are you the
Yeah.
only one for whom it's not working?
I don't know. Yeah,
Is there
I don't think
anyone else who has challenges with Misora? Okay, let's take that. So what is going on there on your side?
So when I click on the soya blocks, it tells me that I must download Scratch Studio to use it. To use the soya.
Okay, let me get. Do you have your dad or your mom next to you?
I did.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly take up.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Ndemba.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
So how would we know if we're selected for the competition, because as we already registered?
Yeah, okay. As I explained earlier on, so what we'll do is that on Friday, we are going to give you guys a link, and you will submit the project that you have done onto that link. All right. So you can do that on Friday,
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday, up until Monday. The
Yeah.
submissions close on Monday.
Yes.
So you submit your project on that link,
Yeah.
and there is a panel of judges which is going to judge all your projects or look at your projects, and they will select the winners. All right.
Yeah.
Then we will be in contact with your parents. When
Yeah.
you registered, I'm sure that you gave your parents' details in your registration.
Yeah.
And there will also be attendance certificates that will be given, but we'll also communicate that. So the winning projects will be selected by a panel of judges, and
Yeah.
your parents will be told that you are the winner, actually. So
Yes. Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Yes, ma'am.
So Is the sprite Avery? Is she the only one that can face towards other stuff, or can other sprites also do that?
What you can do when you are playing around, just use other sprites. We have Avery walking, we have Abby, we have so we have different sprites that are doing different things. All right. So we have Cassie dance, for instance. So you have other sprites that are doing different things, and you can play around with them and see what other motions they have or what other costumes they have by going to the costumes tab here. All right. So for instance, if I have this sprite, let's say, let me use this one, which is called characters. You will see now it has different other characters, but as you look at it, the only thing that shows you which direction she's looking at is the fact that her eyes are looking to her left. All right. If I change it, then her eyes look to the right. So it depends on the sprites that you have selected, really.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Any more questions? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, no question there. Anyone else who has another question? And as I said, what we'll do is that we'll put up all the videos on YouTube, and if you want to go and look at it again, you are more than welcome to go and check it out on YouTube. It will be uploaded before the end of this day. All right. So do we have any more questions about anything? Maybe you need help with your project. Oh yes, let's go back to Keshav and let's see please ask your dad to share your screen. I'm going to stop sharing mine now.
Yes, sir.
Web browser is preventing access to your share screen. The web browser. Why is the web browser? It's not giving you an opportunity to share your screen. Standard teacher that you can't open it because the web browser is preventing it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Tell the teacher.
So basically, these are opening it.
Unable to share through the web browser.
Just share your screen with us.
We're trying to share it, but it's not. Are you open Zoom through the web browser?
Okay.
Oh, okay.